Have you ever noticed that Jesus didn't live to be an old man? He didn't reach 50 or 70 or even 40. He died at just 33 years old. It's a detail we often overlook, but when you slow down and really think about it, the question hits differently. Why 33? Why that specific age? Why that exact moment in history and not another? Let's step into the story and explore this together. To understand why, we first have to picture the world 2,000 years ago. The Roman Empire stretched across continents, building roads and trade routes that connected distant nations like never before. People from all different cultures were crossing paths, sharing ideas, and creating a world that was chaotic but connected, harsh but historic. And in the middle of all this tension, the world was spiritually hungry. People were searching for hope, for meaning, for forgiveness, for something more than the cold, impersonal systems that surrounded them. It was into this very world that Jesus arrived, quietly and humbly. Not in a grand palace, but in a simple manger. And from the moment he began his mission, every single step he took was moving toward a specific, intentional moment in time. His life wasn't random, it was unfolding with incredible purpose. In ancient Jewish culture, the age of 30 was a significant milestone. It was when a man was recognized as fully mature, able to teach publicly, and ready to take on serious responsibility. It's why priests in the temple began their service around that age. And it's why Jesus waited. He spent his early years learning, growing, and preparing. When he finally stepped onto the public stage at 30 years old, he wasn't a teenager finding his way or a young adult still figuring out who he was. No, he was a man stepping fully into his purpose, physically strong, mentally clear, and spiritually ready for the mission ahead. And then, for 3 intense years, he poured himself out. He taught with authority, healed the sick, challenged corrupt leaders, and comforted the brokenhearted. He opened the eyes of people who had long given up hope, showing them a new way to see God and each other. Those 3 years completely changed the world. But his mission wasn't to grow old and retire. It was to finish something, to complete something, to become something that no one else in history could ever be. The ultimate sacrifice that brings humanity back into a relationship with God. Now, let's play with a few what-ifs. What if Jesus had lived longer, say, to 60? Would his message have spread the same way? Would people have listened to an elderly teacher in a world that so highly valued youth and strength? Maybe, but the impact would have been different. And what if he had died at 20? He wouldn't have been recognized as a teacher at all. His voice wouldn't have carried the same weight or authority. The world simply wouldn't have been ready for his message. But at 33, something extraordinary happens. He's young enough to travel on foot for miles, to teach crowds of thousands, and to reach people from all walks of life. Yet, he's also mature enough for people to respect him as a rabbi, a wise leader, and a man of God. He's strong enough to endure the unimaginable betrayal, a sham trial, brutal torture, and the agony of the cross. Yet, at the same time, he's compassionate enough to look down from that cross and forgive his executioners as he hangs there. At 33, he is the perfect intersection of strength and sacrifice. It was the perfect age for the perfect mission. The Bible uses this really interesting phrase, when the fullness of time had come. It means that everything lined up just right: the political climate, the cultural hunger, the prophecies, everything. Jesus himself often said things like, "My time has not yet come," and then later, "The hour has come." He wasn't guessing or being caught off guard by Judas's betrayal or his arrest in the garden. He knew exactly what was happening. Every moment of his life was moving toward fulfilling specific, ancient prophecies. The Messiah would enter Jerusalem on a donkey. He would be betrayed for 30 pieces of silver. His hands and feet would be pierced. He would be lifted up from the earth. And he would die, but his body would not see decay. These weren't just a series of random, tragic events. They were ancient promises, written centuries before, all lining up with perfect, breathtaking precision. And when Jesus reached the age of 33, everything aligned. The world, the culture, the prophecies, the timing, and the mission, it all met in a single, powerful moment. So, why 33? Because his mission was complete. Jesus didn't die at 33 because his life was cut short or because his enemies won. He died at 33 because his purpose was fulfilled. Think about his final words on the cross. "It is finished." He didn't say, "I am finished," he said, It is finished, the mission, the rescue plan, the payment for sin, the great work of redemption, it was done. He had accomplished exactly what he came to do. He didn't come to earth to grow old. He didn't come to build a political empire or to live a long, comfortable life. He came for one reason, to bridge the vast gap that separated God and humanity. And that mission reached its ultimate climax at age 33. So, what does all of this mean for you and me today? It means that your life is not measured by its length, but by its purpose. Jesus lived only 33 years, but those years changed every single generation that came after. It means that God's timing in our own lives, even when it doesn't make sense to us, is always intentional and filled with purpose. And it means this: Jesus didn't die young. He died right on time. He died in the fullness of his purpose, at the exact moment the world needed him most. His life wasn't taken from him against his will. He gave it freely. At the perfect age, in the perfect moment, and for the perfect reason: love, redemption, and the salvation of the world. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it.